All right, so I'm once again messing around with computer programming, and I've picked this software called, what do they call it? Gdevelop.io. You can do a free layer, you can buy some stuff. I am choosing to do the purchase option because I want to see what else it can give me. So I picked the, I think the silver package maybe, or the gold package. I picked one of them. Anyway, and then what I told you yesterday was, or the other day in the other video, was go ahead and use their tutorial. So I went through their tutorial and it was pretty good. But then the next step is really, everyone says is just make a game. And don't make a hard game, just take a game and clone it and make it. So they had the option to download, actually let me see if I can find it. So in the home screen here, yeah, so this is my game. It's called Space Wars Asteroid. So there was an old game my brother and I used to play. It was you would load it up by doing spwar.exe. So that was the the executable. But it was Space Wars, and two people would fight in an asteroids scenario. So they have a game, Asteroids, and I said, yeah, let me take your game and see what I can do with it. So they have a game. Let me just pull it up here. Yeah, so you can see this. It basically looks like Asteroids. This character was in the middle of the screen, and you played Asteroids. No biggie, right? So I wanted to insert a second character and have them fight. So what I did is take their code and just start adding stuff. So, I mean, really, it's not that much code. You could see this. It's actually very organized and very separate and color coordinated. I love it. And I didn't really have to code too much. What I did, actually I didn't code like physically, if then anything. All I did was copy paste. So I had to take the one player scenario and create it into two players. So the first thing I did is if you go back to this play scene here, you see like I cheated. It was really easy. I just said right here, duplicate. So I created a second player and then named it player 2 and player 1, and it went through and changed all of the player to player 1, so the code was already fixed, so it knows to link the variables. The place that I messed up was I went ahead and changed player 2, but then it also changed the color of player 1 because they were using the same file, so I messed that part up. So I had to actually create a different file. Anyway, I did the same thing for bullet 1, bullet 2, and then life bar 1, life bar 2. So I just had to add these life bars in. It was really easy. I just clicked it and said duplicate, moved it over, and it said, hey, this is life bar 2, right? Super easy. This is how the game starts every time. So it is not a randomized asteroid sequence, and that's okay with me. I'm not trying to fix that yet. I'm trying to add a second player. So let me make the code big here. In the beginning of the scene, nothing really changed. Second part of the scene, they've got, at the beginning of the scene, create motion trails. So what I did is I copied and pasted it, but what I could have done, and I did do this later on, I didn't do it for this one so I can show you, is I can change this. I made a group variable called motion trails. So I could just do that. Let me click on it and show you. So it's basically just saying that object is, oh, that didn't work. Double click it. Moon trails. So it should create a trail. I'm curious if it'll actually work now. So I have a moon trail 1, moon trail 2. It should, I'll go back and look. So you should make a change and then hit play and check it out. Change position of moon trail 1 and 2. So you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and leave it so I don't mess this up for you guys while I'm trying to show you a thing. All right. So many times when you program, you got to keep the variables completely separate. But this game is pretty smart. It says, hey, if you're gonna have a thing that happens for everyone, you can create a group variable. So over here I've got Asteroid. That's for all the various asteroids. They did that for me. I created players, which is player 1, player 2. Life bars. So basically just pluraled it, and that's the group. So if I want something to happen for everybody all the time, then there you go. Okay, so it had controls, ASWD, and up, down, left, and right. So I had to separate those. So if ASWD is pressed, oh, look at that. I still have player 1, start motion, apply. What is this? Hold on, let me read this. Oh, this is just the moon tail. Okay, so if W is pressed, that is player 1. Then motion trail 1 gets played. If up is pressed, then motion trail 2 gets played. So it's basically right character, or yeah, on the keyboard, right character, left character, or yeah. So they're separated. So this guy plays over here and he plays over here. So my brother and I would sit at the keyboard and press them. I know you could have 2 joysticks or you could have 2 computers linking. I'm not there yet. This is a 1 keyboard type thing. Just simulating what we used to do. So in there, like if I pressed on this, if I click on it, I can change the variable, right? So it's stop the moon trail. motion trail. Man, I'm going to blow that every time. So all I did was hit this. I did copy and then opened up a new thing, a new condition, and hit paste. It was pretty easy. So in the movement, I copied it all over. So there's movement for the first guy and the movement for the second guy. I did a copy paste and then I deleted out. So originally it was if you press up or W, then player 1 moves. I didn't want that to happen. So now I've got it set up so that the arrow keys are for player 2 and the ASWD, actually S doesn't do anything, are for player 1. Fire bullets. This one was a little bit tricky. I tried to cheat and say, hey, if a player's fires the bullets, let's do a thing. And I guess it was too many group things. So I was hoping, and maybe, I feel like it should do this. If I'm player 1 and I press the fire button, it should know that I'm shooting at player 2, but it was taking, since the bullet originates at the center point of the icon for player 1, player 1 took bullet damage. So I could have fixed that later on where I said, hey, only bullet 1 takes damage. So actually, you know what? I probably could have done that. I fixed it twice and I really didn't need to. So down here, when there's actually damage being applied, I did the bullets. And really what I could have just done is bullet 1 hits player 2. And then up here, I could have just used one statement. Yeah, I probably could have done that. You know what? I'm going to try that out just so I can learn more. So what's going to happen is right here. So I've got player 1 is ready to shoot. If the space bar is pressed, then that's the fire button. So he's shooting. So player 1 has bullet 1 come out. So I could probably change that to bullets and see real quick. And so bullets come out from players. Actually, let me go ahead and do that and see if it knows to fix that. So this is player 1's actions. Okay, so we go to the preview. This is player 2, and if he shoots, yep, so it works just like normal because I have the code, it's for him. Now let's look at player 1. So here's player 1, he shoots. Yeah, look at that. It was smart enough to know that. I love that. All right, so let me get close and see. Let's see, it was player, oh, he got hit by a asteroid. So you lose lives. Oh, look at that. So he got hit by an asteroid, but it lost. Yeah, so it's messing up. So it's giving player 1 damage when player... Is he giving both? Actually, nobody's taking damage now. Oh, no, he finally took some damage. So I don't know what I did there. All right, so I got to go fix something in there. So it wasn't this player. So let me fix one problem at a time. I'm going to change this back to bullet 1. I don't think that was the actual problem, but I found something that I need to go fix. So let me keep going through what I did. Okay, so copied player 1, made it player 2. If you look through all this, everything is changed to player 2. Sometimes you have to actually go in there and click deep and be like, hey, okay, so there's a player 2 option in here that's not reported. So it's actually, it is right there. You can see it, the coordinates. So you need to be very careful when you look through this to see which player it's taking its information from. So originally, when I had this player 2, not firing, but when he was moving, so up here, the thrust was applied on a vector so player 2's thrust was applied with the player 1 vector. So if player 1 was facing like to 3 o'clock position, and player 2 is facing to the noon position, and I hit the thruster, it would go like boom and push him sideways because the thrust was in the wrong direction. Yeah, anyway, it was kind of funny. So you do have to have some logic to understand that, hey, these are different. And I know you're looking at this like, well, anybody can code, even AI can code. I mean, yes, and I can read this and understand it, but do you read this and understand it? I would think the majority of the people are going to read this and go, no, I don't know what's happening. So, for example, they've got the coding, it's not a scratch code or a plug code, but it's not like, I suppose, real code. Coding doesn't look like this. But they're saying when this condition happens, the player is ready to shoot. It says fire bullet from player 2. Those are variables that I named. Pink are my variables. So it could have said fire toenail from cockpit. I don't know. So we're putting in variables, and it says at position. So you're picking where's the bullet spawn, right? So this makes sense to me. Player's 2 X point is bullet spawn. Player 2's Y point is bullet spawn. So wherever player 2 is, that's where the bullet should spawn. So the bullet shouldn't spawn at coordinates 0, 0. That'd be dumb. So that makes sense. And the angle is whatever the player's angle is. So his nose cone, right? Whatever you're determining the angle to be. And so it's got a point that is fixed and it knows, hey, that's my set point. So it's got position and angle, and then the speed is 500. So I could change that to 5,000, and the bullets would like fly. So it's pixels per second. Change the Z of bullet 2 to be -2. So why? Why would you change the bullet to be, I guess, 2 less than player 2's Z? Well, the reason is if you didn't, the bullet would come out from the top of the ship. So let me change this. Let me go, I don't know, we'll just say +2. So when player 2 shoots, you're going to notice, let me shoot something. Ooh. So if you look, it's coming out of the top. Rather, if you look at player 1, it looks like it's coming right out of the beginning. If you look at the player 2, it's actually initiating at the center mass of him, or like right where that purple and red line meet, because it's 2 levels above. So this has an infinite, not infinite, maybe 100 different ups and downs levels. So by setting this at +2, whereas the ship is at 0, it's now ahead on the screen. And I don't want that. So I'm going to go back wherever that was. And, oh man, where was it? Oh, there it is right here. So +2. I just want to change it right here. Back to -2. Okay. So now it's originating at the, behind the ship. So it looks like it's coming out the front. Okay. So play sound, laser fire, dot wave. So they uploaded something and boo, it's got a shot. I mean, you could read that. That makes sense. Is it code? No, it's a wave file. So they had to load it in there. So it's an asset that's put into the program over here. So if you look over on the assets, okay, actually, it's probably an embedded asset. Then I didn't have to go and create it, or they didn't create it because I didn't. So I know that for sure. All right, so go back to the play the scene. Okay, so another one I had to go in there and I wanted to fix is if instead of creating 2 sections, so right here it says when an asteroid splits up, player 1 was already done. It was just player, and he shoots an asteroid. Instead of copying and pasting that big code and having, I guess this is maybe a full page of code about splitting up asteroids and then redoing it for player number 2, this is where I could say bullets collide with big asteroid, right? So now it's going to use the group variable. So when any bullet hits an asteroid, do this. When any, and then it also knows to take the direction. So when the shot hits, it splits 90 degrees, and it knows because I said bullets, right? And where is it? Players or somewhere in here where the asteroid splits. Let me see if I can find one in the base layer, asteroid. So anyway, it should be in there. When the small asteroids come out, random. Yeah, create an object, big asteroid. Let's see, medium asteroid. I don't see my players. Well, anyway, it's in there. Float, bullets. Okay, it was all bullets. I guess I had to change the angle of the bullet, I suppose. Anyway, bullets hit them and it smashes and it does a thing and they delete, right? So right here is deleting the asteroid, deleting the bullet. So the next thing I had to figure out was like player health. So originally I did players and I did bullets, and it didn't know like, well, who's firing what. So I had to switch it so that there's a number 1 bullet, you can see right there, and it's hitting player 2. So I had to actually specify that. I bet you, look at that, make life bar flash. Let me change this. So player 2 got hit, so I'm going to change that one to player 2's life bar flashes. Player 2 gets hit, life bar, yeah. So everything is set up for player 2 because player 1 hit him. So and vice versa. Bullet 2 comes from player 2, so it should be player 1, life bar 1, player 1, life bar 1, health 1, health 2. Yeah, so stop. So this is something that I thought I could do when somebody is dead. Can I do this scene? So I changed it to just both, and I don't think it actually works. So it doesn't realize what's happening there, and it causes both to die into the death spiral. So I got to go back and fix that. But I guess what I'm saying is, this is way better than the Barons game I tried to get started. I was really brute forcing it. I was trying to write code inside of their pseudocode. And so that was no good. I did not need to do that. I should have done what I'm doing now. I just took their game and said, let me change it. Take asteroids and then put something else in there. Player 2 might have been kind of ambitious, but the game my brother and I played was Space War, and I wanted 2 different ships to be able to fight. So maybe this got an advantageous location or not. So this guy's, you know, facing right, and this guy was facing right. So I should probably change that and make them face each other without being able to shoot each other directly. So let me go back here, and this is really cool. So all I'm going to do is take this and rotate it. Let's see, how would I do that? I could probably flip it. Let me just double click on it. Can I flip? Let's do object. So it's facing the left direction. Edit collision points. Last time I saw there was an option to actually flip or invert. So I'll go over here to base, instance of the variable. I believe there was one, edit object. I don't really want to edit it. I just want to flip it. And I don't see it. Let me pause you and find it. Ah, it's right there. So flip horizontally, flip vertically. So I want to flip it horizontally. Boom, there you go. Man, I love that. So I'm not sure. I might have just screwed up the entire engine because it's going to fly backwards now probably. Let me see. So he starts in the right direction. I press go. Yeah, he went the wrong. Yeah, he went the wrong way. Okay. So if I did that, I have to switch everything. So this right here, can I rotate it with this icon? I can. So let me rotate them around. I don't want to make them smaller, but it looks like I'm doing a smaller bit. This is so weird. All right, so I got them flipped. Maybe this is the same size. Let's preview and see what happens. Oh, what's going on? I guess because he was touching an asteroid. Okay, so I was able to flip it and it knew, okay, you're just flipping the graphics. So he hit an asteroid, he took a damage. He hits 2 damage, so it still damaged player 1. So I'm gonna have to fix that. I said if a player hits, yeah, okay, so it doesn't know that. So I was wrong. So when I went in here and said if there's a collision against an asteroid splitting, no, player collision. Where is it? Right, smallest asteroid. Players hit an asteroid. Yeah. So unless I've got it, yeah. So everything is set for players, and it doesn't like that. So I'm gonna have to. Actually, I'll just show you what I do. So I'm gonna do a copy, paste. So I got 2 of them in here now, right? So if player 1 hits the asteroid, then make player 1. So this is really easy to change all the code, right? And life bar 1, apply 1 damage to life bar 1. Okay. And then this guy is if player 2, and again, there's probably a way to do it, and I just don't know it because this is the first time I've ever really used their, actually this week is the first time I've used their system. But I mean, I'm already cruising through a game. Admittedly, I did not start. I took the base layer out of the game and said, hey, let me use your base layer and then just do some edits. But I think that's a smarter way to go. Oh, player's health. I need to change that one too. Player 1's health. Player 2. Okay, so player 1 hits an asteroid, player 2 hits an asteroid. Everything here is on player 2, so let's give that a shot. So player 2 started on an asteroid. That's not good. All right, so let's do player 1 first because the other one's going to game over. So it shook the screen, but he took damage. Shook the screen, he took damage. He's the only one blinking. This works. Game over. So you notice the other guy died as well. So that shouldn't happen. Let's do player 2 hits an asteroid. He takes damage. Yep. Okay. So then the other part was I had to be able to shoot and for it to hit them. So I like that. While he's flashing, there's no damage taken. And then I win. Game over. Okay. Or I lose as well. So it basically works. Not exactly with some of the details. I don't want player 1 to die when it's over. So that's where I did players dead. And it kills them off. So I'd have to go back and change the animation for those. But the point is still valid. I was able to do this to create this Space War game that my brother and I played years ago by taking their asteroids, moving the character, adding a second one, and then changing the variables. it works pretty good. The next thing I want to do is pop in a gravity center right in the middle of the screen so that it pulls the ships in, because that's what we used to do. And then I want to add a torpedo, so you can launch a torpedo at somebody, but gravity pulls it. And then if you do it right, the gravity will start like rotating it and swirling it. But torpedoes can hit anybody, so that becomes a problem. Anyway, it's a lot of fun. This is interesting. I'm doing this in my spare time, in my free time. I think, you know, programming is cool. Building a game is cool. I've never built and launched a game. This, when I get done with it, or when I get close enough to it, I'll put it on Steam. I'll sell it for $1 and just let people have fun with it and see how it goes. You do need to save your work often. I have it being saved to my computer rather than their hard drive or their cloud, because actually I don't know why I picked that. I just always do. I guess I'm too old school. Anyway, next steps. Like I said, I'm going to try to add in a gravity field, so the black hole of some sort. And then I'm going to put up some, I'm going to try to have some things like appear that you can go get. Also, I think I want the asteroids to be moving, and I did notice they did come in random because I'm not hitting anybody. So it does populate. Let's see if it populates again random. Yeah, so they're in different positions, but they're not moving. I would like them to be moving, so I think I'm going to change that. So they're moving, there's gravity, and then another type of bullet, as well as being able to pick up items. So cool thing in here is I've already done a little bit of changing on this. I can change the bullets. So let's see, where did I put it? Bullet collision. No, it's on the firing side, I think. Bullets fire. Okay. So change firing condition. So this lets them fire faster. Number of bullets. Okay, so you can pick up an item. Let's just set it to, let's go crazy and give them 3. Okay. And now player 1, yeah, gets 3 shots. I guess that's something I need to figure out. It spawned an asteroid right on top of him. But you saw the guy shooting 3 times, and that was the whole point of that one. So if I go back, let me change it to 1. Set value equal to 1. Okay. And I should save that. Okay, so there we go. I have a project. I got things I should do. I'll take you along the journey on the next one. I guess what I don't want you to see is the pain of me going through, and I don't know, maybe that's interesting. I guess it's probably worthwhile to see the struggle. How long does it actually take to do some of this? I mean, it's not really long. You saw me change something in here right now. So you just have to figure it out and logic through like what happened and why did it happen, and then you can go in and fix it.